In a massive promise ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi announced a minimum income guarantee for the poorest families of the country. He said if the Congress comes to power, every citizen would receive 12,000 rupees monthly under the scheme. If a citizen earns less than 12,000, the party's aim will be to total the gap and bring it to that amount.
हिंदुस्तान की जनता को, हिंदुस्तान के गरीबों से कहना चाहता हूं, लाइन 12,000 रुपए महीने की होगी। हां, सरप्राइज हुए ना आप? शॉक हुए ना? मतलब इतना पैसा हिंदुस्तान में भाइयों और बहनों है। तो कांग्रेस पार्टी गारंटी करती है कि हिंदुस्तान के 20% सबसे गरीब परिवारों को, शौक मत होना, अभी धमाका बजने जा रहा है, 20% सबसे गरीब परिवारों को हर साल 72,000 रुपए देने जा रही है।
My colleague Meenakshi Bhanja joining me on the phone line with more. Meenakshi, good afternoon. First up, can you just take us through this scheme, the details, the nitty-gritties of it, because this is a massive poll promise coming ahead of the elections. We seem to have lost the line there with my colleague Meenakshi Bhanja, but we'll try and get back to her in just a moment. Just a couple of hours ago, Congress President Rahul Gandhi pledged to roll out a monthly income guarantee scheme if his party comes to power at the centre to ensure what he said was India's 20% poorest families at least make at least 12,000 rupees a month. Now, this scheme is going to be covering 5 crore families and will benefit nearly 25 crore people. This is what he said. These comments coming in after the Congress Working Committee cleared the plan that the party President Rahul Gandhi described as the final assault on poverty. Mohan Goswami, a noted economist, now joining me on the phone line. Good afternoon, Mr. Goswami. Thank you so much for speaking with Mirror now. Rahul Gandhi's big poll promise coming ahead of the elections. What do you make of it, sir?
I think it's a very good idea. This idea has been around for a while. If you remember, in the last budget, or the budget before, Arvind Subramanian, when he was the chief economic advisor, he had actually written about this in the survey. And he said that this is probably the way to do it. But the government didn't find the courage or didn't summon the will to find the money and didn't do it. But even the money itself, this is not a universal basic income, but it's a selective basic income for people below poverty line. And the total outlay for this, I did some rough numbers, will be about less than 0.66% of the GDP. We're talking of almost a $3 trillion GDP. This will come to about $20 billion, the equivalent. So, it's easily doable. All it needed was will and the administrative mechanism to deliver the cash to the people. Now that you've got bank accounts which Modi opened for everybody, there are other accounts, you can put some money into it. So I think people will benefit. It will also pump prime the market because, we happily give that much and more money as DA increases every year or so. And then, Arun Jaitley said that pump primes the economy. This will do it in a bigger way. And, and the consumption goods will be, from SMEs and local industries. So it's doubly beneficial. Instead of buying higher and, Samsung refrigerators, they might buy local goods, which is good.
Right.
I think it's a capital idea with huge political ramifications also.
Okay. Mohan Goswami, economist, thank you so much for that perspective. Let me also bring in my colleague Meenakshi Bhanja, who's joining me on the phone line with more. Meenakshi, Rahul Gandhi making this pretty important and big poll promise coming right off, the crucial CEC meeting that was held earlier today. What is the sense that you're getting? We asked Mr. Goswami over there about his perspective, but if for our viewers you could actually explain what Rahul Gandhi said as part of this scheme, what it exactly means.
Well, indeed, Sanjana, this was a very ambitious announcement which was made by Congress President some days ago, where questions then arose as to how will the Congress implement it on ground, whether the arithmetic part of it has been worked out or not. And today, the CWC, which is the highest body which will go on to fine-tune the manifesto of the Congress party ahead of 2019, held deliberations, subsequent to which we saw this massive announcement coming in. And indeed, for now, the arithmetic, as far as the Congress is concerned, seems to have worked out. Simply this, Sanjana, two main takeaways from today. Rahul Gandhi has assured on behalf of the Congress party that the poorest of the poor in India will be given a sum of 72,000 rupees per annum. Second takeaway has been that anybody who is not earning a minimum of 12,000 rupees per month, for instance, if a person is earning a monthly income of only 6,000, the Congress, if elected to power, will pool in the remainder amount to make it a sum total of minimum 12,000 rupees per month. So this is the ambitious plan of Congress, which is going to be one major poll plank or electoral promise of the Congress party. Congress sources indicating to us clearly that this is quite unlike the 15 lakh per account which the BJP later had cited as just being something which was lightly said at the time of campaigning. The Congress sources indicate that this is something entirely different from that. This is going to feature in the manifesto of the Congress party, and a lot of thought process has been put to it, and the Congress is very certain that insofar as the arithmetic of it is concerned, it is doable and implementable on ground, Sanjana.
Right, Meenakshi, thank you for that. Let me also bring in Narendra Taneja of the BJP joining us on the phone line. Sir, thank you so much for holding. What do you make of this? Rahul Gandhi is saying, this massive promise that he's made. What does the BJP think?
No, it's just a political slogan. I mean, what is new in it? I mean, way back in '69, they promised Garibi Hatao and similar thing. Nothing happened. And they know it very well. They're not coming to power. They are already conceded defeat in the 2019 elections. So you can promise anything when you know you don't have to deliver. I mean, if they were really serious about it, instead of making an announcement in Delhi, they should have announced the implementation of this scheme in states like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. They should have done that. That's the right way to do it. Otherwise, Congress has been saying all this for years and years and years and cheated the people of this country so many times on Garibi Hatao, do this and this. These are just political slogans. Yesterday they were shouting Rafale, Rafale, Rafale everywhere. So many, press conferences was held with Rafale. Then they came to Pradhan Mantri chor hai, Chaukidar chor hai. That didn't work. Now they've come out with this, and now maybe tomorrow they come up with something new. So they really don't know. They're struggling to give an alternative narrative to the fantastic work done by our government the last 5 years. So they keep on experimenting. This is another experiment. So we don't really want to waste our time on that. And the question is also, they are saying that economists have done and this and that. They need to answer what's going to happen. First of all, 67% people didn't even account when they were in power. They didn't allow them to open their account. Now today they are talking of this. They also not let them also explain what will happen to the subsidies. Already look at the subsidies which are going to the poor people in terms of fertilizer, subsidies in terms of LPG. There are a number of other subsidies which are going. So, so those are the kind of things they need to, at the same time, announce. And they were also talking about, on the one hand, Mr. Rahul Gandhi said 12,000 rupees per month, but the total is 72,000. So what is this? If it is 12,000 rupees per month, then the total can't be just 72,000. It will be more. Now, so it clearly shows that they have really done it. They are not serious about the whole thing. It's a political slogan like Rafale was, yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be something else. Congress, but they know they are not coming to power. When you know you're not coming out to power, you can promise anything because you know you don't have to implement it because they know there is absolutely no chance that they're coming to power.
Okay.
It's a small regional party.
Okay.
They can afford to make such promises. Nobody wants to talk with them. Nobody wants to go for an alliance with them. You know what's happening in Bengal. You saw what's happening in Orissa. You've seen what's happening in Uttar Pradesh. So they can keep...
Okay. Sanjay Jha is also on the phone line. Sanjay Jha, would you like to respond to that? Because the BJP clearly feels that the Congress is doing this, to solve a political, to fire a political salvo really, and the Congress is not in any way going to be coming to power to actually implement or, attempt to eradicate poverty.
But, I don't want to respond to some stupid, arrogant comment on what's going to happen. If there is an Nostradamus here that you have on the, well, I'm not aware of it. But let's look at the hard realities of what we face. Number one, this is a government of Narendra Modi over the last 5 years where the top 1% of India has got 65% of its wealth. The top 1% of India, by the way, many of them are not your viewers and certainly not me and you, I think, has 22% of the income of this country. This has happened under Modi. Under Modi, the farmer suicides have gone up like nobody's business. Under Modi, India has never been as unemployed as it is today. Under Modi, the kind of investment in the economy has tumbled down. It's like a remarkable downfall. What is it telling us? It is telling us that India has actually pushed the poor even further to the bottom of the pyramid. Now, this is a government which is steeped in corruption. Rafael, Anil Ambani, Gautam Adani, it's full of corruption. Look at the NPAs. I mean, they tell you how they're protecting the rich and the famous. Now, let's come down to what Mr. Rahul Gandhi announced. Mr. Gandhi says, and let me clarify what I think the BJP spokesperson was talking about, 12,000 per month is like a minimum income guarantee. Now, what are we saying? We are saying if you go with the base level, people are getting, a family at a current level is getting around 6,000 at a basic level, even if you're at the poverty line. We will top it up by giving 6,000 per month, which means that supposing a family is getting 5,000, but the minimum is seen as 12, we will give them 7,000. If the family is getting 8,000, we'll top it up and give them 4,000. If the family is getting 2,000, we'll top it up and give them 10,000. Basically, we'll make sure that not a single household in India, please hear me very loud and clear,
Okay.
not a single household in India will get anything less than rupees 12,000 per month. This is historic. I can tell you that, this will actually beat China in terms of how a country that was seen as a less developing country is actually going to eradicate poverty. Now, there is a simple answer to this. He says there are a number of other subsidy schemes. Of course, there are. But we are already telling you so publicly, we are not going to take the other subsidies away. So Maneka will continue, food security will continue, LPG cylinders will continue, so will the other fertilizer and whatever else is being done for insurance sector. So then the question arises, why hasn't this government been able to do it? This government has not been able to do it because it is a government which is catered to the crony capitalists. I'll give you one example, and after that I don't have to say a word. This government has written off NPAs of the very big industrialists of India running to over 3.5 lakh crores. And that is the money that should actually go to the poor and the lower, what I call as the neo-middle class of India. And that is what we have announced. This is an announcement, and I think the BJP knows the writing is on the wall because this is not political. It's economic. But good economics is also, by the way, has an impact because the people can see which political party...
Sanjay Jha of the Congress, thank you so much for that. Rahul Gandhi's big poll promise coming up right ahead of the elections. Rahul Gandhi pledging to roll out a monthly income guarantee scheme if the Congress comes to power at the centre to ensure the country's 20% poorest families make at least 12,000 rupees every month.